When determining the breaker size for a motor load according to National Electrical Code Section 430.52, it's crucial to understand its relationship with the required wire size. The answer to whether the wire size needs to be changed to match the new breaker size determined by 430.52 is yes, the wire size must be appropriately sized. Let's delve into the reasons why and how this works. National Electrical Code Section 430.52 provides guidelines for sizing overcurrent protection, such as circuit breakers or fuses, for motor circuits. These guidelines often allow for higher overcurrent protection ratings than what might typically be used for other types of loads. This allowance is because motors have inrush currents significantly higher than their full load current during starting. This inrush, also known as locked rotor current, can be several times the motor's full load amperage. The overcurrent protection device must be sized to allow the motor to start without tripping unnecessarily due to this temporary high current. However, this doesn't mean the wire size can remain the same as if the motor were protected by a smaller breaker or fuse. The wire size must be adequate to safely carry the motor's full load amperage and handle any potential overload conditions without overheating or causing a fire hazard. The National Electrical Code mandates that conductors supplying motors must have an ampacity of not less than 125% of the motor's full load current rating, as specified in Section 430.22. This means that the wire must be capable of carrying at least 1.25 times the motor's full load amperage. This 125% factor accounts for continuous operation and minor overloads. When 430.52 allows for a larger breaker size to accommodate the motor's starting current, it doesn't override the requirement for the wire to be sized at 125% of the motor's full load amperage. The larger breaker primarily protects against short circuits and ground faults, while the wire size ensures it can handle the motor's normal operating current and minor overloads safely. If the breaker size is increased without increasing the wire size accordingly, the wire could be subjected to currents exceeding its ampacity during an overload condition. This could lead to overheating, insulation damage, and potentially a fire. The breaker, being sized higher, wouldn't trip until a much higher current level is reached, potentially exceeding the wire's safe operating limits. Therefore, it is imperative to ensure that the wire size is always adequate for the motor's full load amperage, as well as any applicable damping factors due to ambient temperature, number of conductors in a raceway, or other relevant conditions. To ensure compliance with the National Electrical Code and to maintain electrical safety, follow these steps when determining motor circuit protection and wire sizing. Firstly, determine the motor's full load amperage from the motor nameplate or applicable National Electrical Code tables. Secondly, calculate the minimum conductor ampacity required, which is 125% of the motor's full load amperage, as per National Electrical Code Section 430.22. Thirdly, select a wire size with an ampacity equal to or greater than the calculated minimum. Refer to National Electrical Code Table 310.16 or other appropriate tables for conductor ampacities, taking into account any damping factors. Fourthly, determine the maximum overcurrent protection device size based on National Electrical Code Section 430.52, considering the motor's type, starting method, and other relevant factors. Fifthly, select an overcurrent protection device, such as a circuit breaker or fuse, with a rating not exceeding the maximum allowed by 430.52, but also ensuring it's sufficient to handle the motor's starting current. Sixthly, verify that the selected wire size is compatible with the terminals of the motor starter, disconnect switch, and overcurrent protection device. The terminals must be rated for the wire size being used. Let's consider an example. Suppose you have a 10 horsepower 460 volt motor with a full load amperage of 14 amps. According to National Electrical Code Section 430.22, the minimum conductor ampacity is 1.25 times 14 amps, which equals 17.5 amps. You would need to select a wire size with an ampacity of at least 17.5 amps. Based on National Electrical Code Table 310.16, a 14 American wire gauge copper conductor with a 75 degrees Celsius insulation rating has an ampacity of 20 amps, which would be suitable in this case, assuming no directing factors apply. Now, let's say National Electrical Code Section 430.52 allows you to use a breaker size to 250% of the motor's full load amperage for a specific type of motor. This would result in a breaker size of 2.5 times 14 amps, which equals 35 amps. Even though you're using a 35 amp breaker, you still need to ensure that the wire size is at least 14 American wire gauge, as it needs to carry the motor's full load amperage plus the 25% allowance. If you were to use a smaller wire, such as 16 American wire gauge, which has a lower ampacity, it could overheat and potentially cause a fire hazard, even though the 35 amp breaker is within the limits allowed by 430.52. The National Electrical Code also includes provisions for overload protection, which is separate from short circuit and ground fault protection. Overload protection is intended to protect the motor and its associated wiring from excessive currents due to mechanical overloads or other abnormal operating conditions. This protection is typically provided by overload relays or similar devices that are set to trip at a current level slightly above the motor's full load amperage. These overload protection devices are selected based on the motor's nameplate full load amperage and service factor. The National Electrical Code provides specific guidelines for selecting overload protection devices in Section 430.32. In summary, while National Electrical Code Section 430.52 allows for higher overcurrent protection ratings to accommodate motors' starting currents, it doesn't negate the requirement to size the wire according to the motor's full load amperage and any applicable directing factors. The wire size must always be adequate to safely carry the motor's operating current and handle potential overload conditions. Failure to properly size the wire can lead to overheating, insulation damage, and fire hazards. Therefore, it is essential to follow all applicable National Electrical Code requirements and best practices when designing and installing motor circuits. It is important to also consider the specific application and any unique conditions that may affect wire ampacity or overcurrent protection requirements. Consulting with a qualified electrical engineer or electrician is always recommended to ensure compliance with the National Electrical Code and to maintain electrical safety. Moreover, the type of conductor insulation plays a crucial role in determining the ampacity of the wire. Different insulation types have different temperature ratings, which affect how much current the wire can safely carry. For example, conductors with a 90 degrees Celsius insulation rating can generally carry more current than conductors with a 60 degrees Celsius insulation rating, assuming the termination points are also rated for that temperature. National Electrical Code Table 310.16 provides ampacity values for various conductor sizes and insulation types. When selecting wire, it's essential to choose the appropriate insulation type for the application, taking into account the ambient temperature and the temperature ratings of the equipment to which the wire will be connected. In addition to wire size and insulation type, the method of installation can also affect wire ampacity. When wires are installed in conduit or cable trays, they may be subject to directing factors due to the increased ambient temperature and the number of conductors bundled together. National Electrical Code Section 310.15 provides guidelines for directing conductor ampacities based on these factors. It's important to apply these directing factors as necessary to ensure that the wire is adequately sized for the actual operating conditions. For example, if multiple current-carrying conductors are installed in a single conduit, the ampacity of each conductor must be derated according to National Electrical Code Table 310.15b3. This derating is necessary because the heat generated by the conductors can raise the temperature inside the conduit, reducing the wire's ability to dissipate heat and lowering its ampacity. Similarly, if wires are installed in a high ambient temperature environment, such as near a furnace or in direct sunlight, their ampacity must be derated to account for the increased ambient temperature. National Electrical Code Table 310.15b2 provides correction factors for ambient temperatures above 30 degrees Celsius. Another important consideration is the voltage drop in the circuit. Voltage drop occurs when the voltage at the load is lower than the voltage at the source due to the impedance of the conductors. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently. The National Electrical Code recommends limiting voltage drop to 3% for branch circuits and 5% for feeders. To minimize voltage drop, it may be necessary to increase the wire size beyond what is required for ampacity. The longer the circuit and the higher the current, the greater the voltage drop will be. Voltage drop can be calculated using various formulas and online calculators. The National Electrical Code also addresses the issue of harmonic currents in electrical systems. Harmonic currents are non-sinusoidal currents that can cause overheating of conductors, transformers, and other equipment. Motors, especially those controlled by variable frequency drives, can generate significant harmonic currents. When harmonic currents are present, it may be necessary to increase the size of the neutral conductor to handle the additional current. National Electrical Code Section 220.61c provides guidelines for sizing neutral conductors in systems with harmonic currents. In addition to the National Electrical Code requirements, it's also important to follow any local codes or regulations that may apply. Local codes may have more stringent requirements than the National Electrical Code in some cases. Always check with the local authorities to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. Furthermore, proper installation practices are essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of motor circuits. Wires should be properly supported and protected from physical damage. Connections should be made using approved connectors and terminals, and all connections should be properly tightened. The insulation on the wires should be intact and free from damage. In summary, when determining the breaker size for a motor load according to National Electrical Code Section 430.52, it's crucial to ensure that the wire size is also adequate to handle the motor's full load amperage and any applicable directing factors. The wire size must be selected based on the motor's full load amperage, the insulation type, the method of installation, and any other relevant factors. Failure to properly size the wire can lead to overheating, insulation damage, and fire hazards. Therefore, it's essential to follow all applicable National Electrical Code requirements and best practices when designing and installing motor circuits. Remember that the National Electrical Code is a comprehensive set of standards that covers all aspects of electrical installations. It's important to stay up to date with the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and to consult with qualified professionals when necessary. By following these guidelines, you can ensure the safety and reliability of motor circuits and protect against electrical hazards.